Hi, I'm Serena Simmons and welcome to 8 Model Psychology. Today I'm going to give you 3 tips to quickly build your self-confidence. So at 8 Model we are all about embracing life, feeling happy, living life to the fullest, grabbing opportunities and essentially feeling like you're evolving. But lacking in confidence can really hinder you and stop you moving forward and feeling like you're really getting to where you want to be. In fact, lacking confidence can really crush you and to stop you from trying to achieve things in your daily life, whether that's in your work, in your relationships, or just in social situations. Now, it doesn't take a psychologist to figure out that if you lack confidence, that it's come from something from your past. Yes, genetics can play a role, but often when we dig deep on that feeling of lacking confidence, often we can see patterns in our childhood and our previous circumstances. When we're kids, we make up a lot of meaning about what we think things mean for us, and we carry those thoughts and feelings forward into our life. Now, at the time, whether they were positive or negative, it doesn't necessarily matter objectively because it depends on how we individually and subjectively made that mean something about us. Other environmental factors can definitely play a role, as can your peer groups and other people that you were surrounded by as a child. And we carry those thoughts and feelings into our adulthood, usually if it's a negative bias, collecting and gathering unconsciously information to cement that thought or that feeling about ourselves. Now, sadly, it's often the negative thoughts and feelings that shout the loudest. The positive are often very quiet, unless you're narcissistic, but we won't go into that. But there's a lot that you can do to start to overcome those feelings of lacking in confidence if that's something that you're experiencing. Just as a disclaimer before I share some of these tips, I just did want to say that if you're experiencing this on a pathological level or a clinical level, so this is really disturbing how you live your daily life and it's turning into an anxiety problem or depression or other kind of mood disorder, then definitely seek the advice of a therapist. But for those of you that would just like some advice as to how you can boost your self-confidence on a non-clinical level, these are for you. So tip number 1 is to change your body language. This sounds so simple, and I share it again and again here because it really is so powerful and such a simple thing that you can do immediately that will change your mood. In this case, change your lack of confidence. This comes from the saying, if you like, that you should fake it till you make it. Now, there are lots of reasons why you shouldn't do that in certain situations where that's probably not very helpful. See what I mean? But there's a very big difference in terms of just stepping into a different physicality and how that instantly changes your mood. So I'm going to give you a little example of how you might appear just purely based on your physicality. Take a look at these 2 photos. What do you notice? Same people, but very, very different body language. So in one photo, the woman particularly appears quite closed off, concerned, maybe just a bit wary of what's being said. And in the other one, bright, light, smiley, happy, engaged. Now you can do this straight away. Think about the kind of closed, scared body language that someone may exhibit versus the happy, open body language. If you start to take on those physical characteristics, your brain very, very quickly catches up with that, whether it wants to or not, and it starts to feel different based on how you're physically moving your body. Tip number 2 is don't be attached to the outcome. So many issues around lacking confidence come from who we think we should be, what we think we should be doing, and any particular individual fears we have around the thoughts that we have about ourselves or the situations that we're in. A lot of confidence and freedom of thought and mind comes from not being attached to how something should be, look or feel. And often that can involve just failing at something. In fact, we look at failure in the evolve part of the model, and there's a good reason why. Successful people and people who are happier typically embrace failure to some degree. They see it as a part of their learning process. It's not that they don't fail, because you can fail at things. I'm not a big believer in sugarcoating things and saying there's no such thing as failure. There is. You can fall flat on your ass, but doing it with a smile and thinking that I don't have to be a particular thing, or this thing doesn't have to work out in the way I planned, is actually very freeing, and that can really give you a confidence boost. Tip number 3 is a quirky one, and that's to have a positive mantra. We look at this in the belief section of the model, and this is so important because really this is your inner monologue. This is what you are telling yourself about yourself day in, day out. We all do it. We all have this voice chuntering away as we go throughout our life. Now, you may not notice it, but if you're experiencing a lack of confidence, it might be that you're just not recognizing that you're negatively talking to yourself. Now, what this needs to involve is actively overriding that negative self-talk with positive. And the easiest way to do that is with a very simple mantra. Now, the mantra should be individual to you and have meaning for you. In other words, when you hear it or when you say it to yourself, it should actually feel quite good, and the prospect of taking that on or being that thing is very, very positive to you. But it doesn't have to be complex. It can be as simple as one of these. I am here to serve. I create my own destiny. This is my life. Enjoy the moment. See, really, really simple. But what it's doing is overriding that negative self-talk and taking you out of your head. And when that becomes your regular way of thinking, your confidence just increases. I'm just going to quickly give a bonus tip before you go. And that is, if you're really experiencing a lack of confidence, one thing you could do is just to step away from social media. Try it for a week and see how quickly your confidence improves. I hope you like what you've seen today, and if you do like what you've seen, please click on the link below to subscribe, and that way you get this in your inbox every single week. Bye!